Good afternoon, boys and girls. I am making this short little video here to show you what I want you to do today. And I figured this way, if you got confused, you could go back and you could look again at any point that you need to clarify what you're not understanding. So what we're going to do today is add some information to our presentations that we're working on, our animal presentations. The first thing we need to do, like we talked about on Friday, is we need to go back and we need to make sure that our presentations have all the slides that we need. So the first thing we're going to do is type in Classroom, and that should take us to the first link to Google Classroom. So we'll click on Google Classroom. Let me close that. Then you should have a few different tabs pop up here. Yours is going to say something like Technology with Mr. Reed. You're going to click on Homeroom. And then there are two important things you need to go ahead and open up while we're here. The first one, if you put two fingers on the trackpad where the mouse is and you click on where it says Welcome to Third Grade, you'll be able to click on Open New Tab. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click on More. More, and then Core. And that's going to bring us all our research links. Now remember, these are the places that you can safely go to do research on your animal. Make sure that when you go to, say, KidRex, you don't go to a site from KidRex and then go to another site from there. That site is not guaranteed to be safe. You want to make sure that anytime you open a new link, you go back to KidRex, okay, or wherever you're going. But we're not quite ready for this yet. Next, what you'll do is you'll open up your animal research project, which you'll get to by clicking on Animal Research Project. Yours is going to look different than mine right here. This is everybody's project right here, and I'm not going to look at all those yet. So I'm going to go back and open up mine so you can see what mine looks like. So I showed you this the other day. Mine says Rhinoceros by Evans Reed, and it's got all my categories. But I actually want to show you Muhaned's one more time because he has his questions in there that he wrote the other day as well. So here's Slimy Salamanders by Muhaned. Remember, he hasn't polished this up or anything. It's just the words. He hasn't had any pictures yet because he was paying close attention, but he will soon. So here we have his title page. First page is adaptations, and he's already started adding his notes that he's taken in about slimy salamanders, as well as his questions. Again, paying close attention here. He's got his question mark because he's not sure if they're poisonous yet. If he learns that they are, he can take that question mark away. Or if he learns that they're not poisonous, he can get rid of it altogether. We'll see. He's also got habitat, diet, behavior. Those are the four main categories. And then he's also got 3 slides for his questions. Do salamanders climb trees? Do salamanders have poison in their bodies? And do salamanders go underground? All really, really great questions. So he's totally ready to start doing research. Okay. Yours needs to look like this too. We'll have an introduction slide later, but right now just make sure you have adaptations, habitat, diet, behavior, and then your 3 questions. All right. So what I want you to do is, if you'll notice up here, this tab is open in the top here. And that's nice because what I can do is I can go back and forth between my research right here and my presentation. So when I learn something, I can go and click on the right tab and enter in whatever. Okay. But actually I'm going to be using mine. So here's my introduction, habitat, diet, adaptations, whatever. So let's start doing some research. So we're going to click on the core tab and I'm going to close Muhaned's. Don't need it anymore. So I'm going to have mine open and I'm going to have my research right here. The next thing I'm going to do is try going and finding some research. So I think I'm going to open this Animal Defenders page, which again, I can do by putting 2 fingers on the mouse pad, which will bring up this menu. And I'm going to hit Open Link in New Tab. There's that. And see how it opens right here? And I still have this page. Then I'm going to open up World Book Kids. Same way. So I have these 2 websites open right here. So I'm going to go to Defenders of Wildlife first and see what's up with that. Cute polar bears. I love them. Now, I'm looking for rhinoceros. So I'm going to type in excuse me. There we go. Sorry, it's hard to say in it and type it at the same time. And let's see what comes up with rhinoceros. It's loading. There we go. Now I'm going to look at these titles to see what's useful. Rhinoceros, basic facts about rhinoceros. That sounds pretty good. Oh, and beneath it is what you can do to help rhinoceros. Let's start with the basic facts. Oh, good. And we have really cool pictures too. Rhinoceros are the largest land mammals after the elephant. Wow. Right there, I'm going to go ahead and take that. That's really interesting information. And since it's about their size, that's going to be part of the adaptations part. I mean, think about it. Look at that guy. He's so big. Would you want to mess with him? I bet he's probably survived for so long because of his size, at least partly because of his size. So I'm going to take that information and add that in my own words into my slide. So this says rhinoceros are the largest land mammals after the elephant. So I'm going to go into my slide here, say adaptations. So if they're almost the largest, then that means that they are the second largest land mammal. So I'm putting that in my own words. I'm not typing exactly what's here. Rhinoceros are the largest land mammals after the elephant. I'm putting second largest land mammal. And I can make that look more interesting later, but since I'm just doing research right now, I'm going to leave it. Okay. Now I can keep reading this. And look, there's even a section called diet. Population, range, and that tells me about its habitat. And then we get some more interesting facts down here in reproduction and threats. But since I want to show you some more research, and here's even another map here about where they live, a lot of really good information here. And more interesting facts there. I'm actually going to go look over at World Book and see what happens here because I want to show you two different new websites. So again, rhinoceros. I'm going to search. Oh, look, here's that fact again. The rhinoceros is one of the largest land animals. Let's look and check and see what it says. It's got little birds on it. Actually, I'll pick the bugs off, I think. So again, the rhinoceros is one of the largest land animals. Now, see, this is interesting, and this is why you look at multiple sources, a whole bunch of different places, because this says one of the largest land animals, but this website told us that it was the second largest land mammal, not just one of the largest. So that's a little bit more interesting. Here's a good description of it, though. Oh, and interesting. Most rhinoceros have hardly any hair. I might add that in adaptations. Let's say hardly. Actually, I don't want to use that word because they already use it. I'll say almost no hair. And we're just going to keep going on with that. Now, like I mentioned, I have information here on what they eat and where they are. I might take a bunch of information from here. Just make sure when you are looking for research that you're not writing down exactly what your source said. That's called plagiarizing, and I'm sure your guest teacher can tell you a little bit more about that. But right here, I see that rhinos are herbivores. That's interesting. They look so big and scary, you'd think they'd eat meat, but they just eat plants. Interesting. So in their diet, I'm going to go ahead and type herbivore. And I can be more specific about what they eat later. Like, do they eat grass? Do they eat berries? Do they eat tree bark? What do they eat? I don't know. Hopefully I'll read more about that later. But now you should have enough information to be able to go today and do some more research on your own. Remember, Google saves automatically, so you'll be fine. And I don't want to see people messing with pictures quite yet. Partly because say you have their diet here and maybe they eat some really interesting food, I might want to put that picture here. And if I've already got a picture of a rhinoceros here, well, then I have to delete it. Then I've wasted all that time looking for a cool rhinoceros picture when really I needed something else. And also, it'll help you get a little bit more done if you wait to mess with pictures. So right now, you should just be having text and writing on your screen. Keep in mind, you are okay to look at videos. You are okay to look at different websites so long as they're all coming from here. Okay? So go have fun, get a bunch done, and I'll see what you guys do later.